welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and the man seated next to me never blows out his birthday candles. His name is Mike Roth.
No, I don't want to delve into that whole fiction of wishes coming true. I'm not going to support that stuff by blowing out my candles and proving, that...
Do you just have cakes with candles burning as we speak?
Well, yeah. I mean... Yeah. If I don't blow them out, they stay lit, right?
Exactly. That's how candles work.
And my birthday's in December, too. And those are amazing candles.
We got a fire hazard going on, that's for sure. Speaking of fire hazards and explosions,
oh, no.
This week we have a couple of movies to talk about on the marquee. The first one features explosions from beginning to end. 2.5 hours of things blowing up for no reason at all.
Great segue, by the way.
Of course, I am talking about Transformers: The Last Night. From director Michael Bay, he comes back. We bring Mark Wahlberg back as Mr. Cade Yeager. This time he does not have his daughter and her boyfriend in tow. They're just written out of this movie.
Yeah.
And it's him, and it's a new love interest who kind of looks like Megan Fox. And they did their best to make her look like Megan Fox. And there's robots.
Yeah.
We are told that the Transformers have always been here since the beginning of time, basically.
Yeah.
We open up in King Arthur times, and we see that, first off, massive explosions going on, fireballs going across the sky, and we find that Merlin has the use of, he's got dragons. Of course, those dragons are Transformers.
Oh, yeah.
And then we find out that Transformers, they may have created the Earth, for all we know. They've been here forever. We also have Sir Anthony Hopkins in this movie, just spewing exposition about nothing at all.
Yeah.
Just talking about this and that and Witwickian society and you need to get a talisman and we have a staff and let's...
I don't know what Anthony Hopkins tells his promoters. It's like,
I'll do anything.
I'll do anything, and the worse, the better.
I mean, he has a lot to say in this movie. None of it means anything.
No.
He has a lot of words. Like, if you count the pages of dialogue, lots of it.
But
none of it means a thing.
But that rings true with anything anybody says, not just Sir
Right.
Anthony Hopkins.
Yes. And, I mean, that's true because really... I did not even care what was going on in this movie. For 2 hours and 30 minutes, it just was things blowing up and machines doing this and that. And I was so incredibly bored by this movie that 2 hours into it, I felt like, okay, we got to be coming to a natural conclusion at this point. It feels like this movie's got to end because nothing has really happened of any importance for 2 hours. And then I realized, oh, that's right, I haven't even seen Optimus Prime yet. This movie is never ending.
Well, you see him.
For a couple of bits, but
Yeah.
Optimus doesn't really show up until 2 hours into this movie.
Yeah. This whole movie, not only was it that the plot was just terrible, but everything anybody ever said was just complete nonsense. It just didn't make sense. The constant one-liners, and one-liners, when they're good, they kind of meld into the story a little bit. They're like, oh, hasta vista, I get that. Stuff like that. With this one, I believe all the writers just got together and said, let's just think of a bunch of one-liners, and then Michael Bay will figure out where to put them.
And Michael Bay doesn't care.
And he doesn't care. He's just like, all right, you're going to say this. I picked it out of my book.
While you're saying it, I'm going to have something blow up behind you.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
A bullet shoots you in the chest, the ground is going to erupt with fireworks. It's going to be awesome.
I mean, it really is. I mean, I watched this movie within the last week, and I've already forgotten most of this movie because it does not matter.
I'm going to tell the truth right now. I did go into a coma. I was rolling my eyes.
Because of this?
So I believe so, because I went in strong. I felt pretty good. And if I had a clicker for every dumb thing, everybody would hear a click,
there'd be blisters
click,
on your
click,
thumbs.
click. Yeah, I would have been sore. I would have had a cast on my thumb. And I think with one of my eye rolls that I had, it just rolled up into the back of my head and I never came back down. I woke up and there was a submarine battle that really
doesn't matter.
was going
Nobody
crazy.
cared.
So I got a little worried and I Wikipedia'd it. I felt like I slept for a while.
Yeah.
But according to Wikipedia, I missed nothing.
No.
Nothing at all.
Because nothing matters in this movie.
No.
There's something about this Quintessa who wants to do something to destroy Earth and maybe their planet, but who cares? Like I say, it's the second movie that we've seen in the last month where everyone's going after a staff for some reason.
Yeah, and no one has gone after the staff or mentioned the staff in the previous 4 movies.
Right.
But apparently this is the most powerful thing, and that's the reason everybody is just scrambling around, is so they could get Merlin's stick. And I really didn't quite get how he got the stick in the first place.
The Transformers gave it to him.
Somewhere in between my coma, there was the beginning part where I saw a robot. You know, they're about, 9 feet tall, solid metal, roundhouse kick just a normal human in the face. Normally, that is straight up murder. But I don't know. For some reason, Michael Bay thought, well, yeah, this is totally believable. Having a, probably 6-ton robot powered on hydraulics, punching humans in the face, and everybody's just going to be okay.
Well, and of course, Josh Duhamel and the government come back into this, and John Turturro's back in this with his secret about the talisman or whatever. And I remember something about the prototypical now Transformers are outlawed. The government is hunting down Transformers. We haven't seen that play out before with superhero movies and everything else. It just felt like nothing was going on in this movie.
It's the same gimmick that they used in the other ones, except for in this one, the government did want Transformers at one point. They chose the Decepticons to work with because for some reason they were more easy to work with, and they're planning on releasing the worst of their psychopathic robots that just go out to kill for fun. They had one that robbed the bank, killed everybody, left the money, and they're like, yeah, well, maybe we'll think about letting that guy out. That's all right.
Here's the worst part of this.
Oh, no.
The title of this movie, The Last Night, would lead you to believe this might be the end of the franchise.
No.
Nope. No, sir. Because we have a little teaser in the middle of the credits saying, see you for number 6, gang. This is never ending.
There was 2 parts of this movie that I actually enjoyed. There was one when Optimus Prime was brought back to life by Quintessa and turned into Nemesis Prime, which, of course, he could never break out of that. But Quintessa told Nemesis Prime, if you fail this mission, the Transformers are done forever. And I was like,
please fail.
If he wins, he destroys Earth, no Transformers movie. If he loses, no Transformers movie.
Ha-ha! See you next time.
But then, 3 seconds later, I was just like,
I was excited for this movie because I heard Hot Rod was going to be in this. I always like Hot Rod as a Transformer. Hot Rod shows up for 6 minutes in this movie. Michael Bay hates people.
Oh, he hates people. He hates science. Again, all his characters, just it's a Bayism. All his characters, all his military characters are pretty much the same person,
absolutely.
just different-looking humans. All the scientists are nerdy, and they just have the worst ideas, and they're just so headstrong and won't listen to what's really going on. You have the science that's like, I'm not going to believe in fairy tales and stuff like this. I'm going to win this by math. It's like, well, for one thing, a scientist would never say something like that. And the other thing is you have metal-winged dinosaurs with holes in its wings flying around. If you can't believe the living Transformers and the flying dragons and stuff like that, I mean, come on.
Wait, you don't believe in flying metal dragons?
No.
This show's over. I don't know what to do.
I did find a couple of things humorous, like the 5 minutes Michael Bay had us learn about wiretapping. Because for some reason that wasn't self-evident. But everything else in there does not have any explanation at all. Like Drift, who is a stereotype of a Japanese samurai.
Absolutely.
And that's another Bayism. He does a lot of objectation of women. He does a lot of personas based on kind of unflattering stereotypes of minorities, stuff like that. But we have the samurai, who for some reason can change into 3 different vehicles, and none of them is a Japanese model of anything. They're all European vehicles. It's like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Come on, be a Toyota.
Nothing makes sense at all.
Up is down, left is right, and this movie blows. What did you end up giving Transformers The Last Night?
I was going to give this something, because I could see maybe if it was turned down low so you couldn't hear any of the stupid stuff people are saying, you might look at the visuals and go, wow, that looks really cool. Just don't pay attention to it. Do something else. But you know what? That's not a movie. That's a trailer. And I'm not going to rate trailers on this one. I'm not going to give it any score. It's going to get a big fat 0.
He gives it nothing.
And I don't give zeros very often. This is my first 0 of the year. I think I only give out 1 a year, and this is it. This is the worst movie
you used
I've
it
seen.
early. 0 stars. I gave it a half a star.
Oh.
Yeah. I've only got 1 0-star movie this year.
What was that half a star? Really, what brought you to the table on that one?
Mark Wahlberg's amazing acting, probably. Is that it? Will that get something? Half star. It's a terrible movie.
They have a Transformer that's garbage. He's literally garbage. His name's Canopy. That's not a Transformer. Transformers turn into something. Garbage is not something. It's garbage.
Bad movie. Don't go see it. Don't stop seeing these movies, and maybe they'll stop making them. Next up on the marquee, what do we have, sir? What do you have for us?
Baby Driver. We have directed and written by Edgar Wright. Baby Driver is, he's a kid. His name is Baby, played by Ansel Elgort. He had a rough childhood, and he stole something from the wrong guy, and that guy owns him now. What Baby does best is drive. He is idiot savant of driving. It's the thing he does. He doesn't talk much. He's been in an auto accident, so he has an inner ear problem where he has to listen to music a lot. Some people think he might be a little slow, but he's not. He's just a really fast driver and a really quiet guy with some little weird quirks about him. He sees the end to the light of the tunnel. He's almost paid his debt. He gets a girlfriend. He starts planning life a little bit, but bad guys don't let their good drivers or good employees go away that easy. So Baby has to do one last job. We got Kevin Spacey, who plays Doc. He is the boss. We also have John Bernthal?
John Bernthal.
Who plays Griff, one of the bad guys who thinks
Being
Baby's
general,
a little special.
John Bernthal, what he does. Just kind of scummy dirtbag.
Yeah.
Just
but
unlikable, likable guy.
You also have John Hamm as Buddy, who played a really interesting, great character, and his girlfriend, Darling, and we had
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. He's in here as Bats, who is just
you
a
also
psychopath.
Have Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers shows up. Paul Williams comes out of long retirement to show up in this movie.
This movie is very fast-paced. The title is so stupid. I hate the name of the title. I hated the trailers, but when I got into this, it was actually a lot of fun. There's some great driving. There's some funny scenes. There's some serious, not serious conflict, but there is some conflict that makes you a little interested in this movie. What did you think?
There's so much I liked about this movie. So much. I thought it was an awesome car chase scene to open up with.
Yep.
Just beautifully choreographed. The choreography in this movie is incredible. And then I'm reading more that most of it is stuff that they did on the street. The explosions, they tried to have zero CGI in this movie.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is practical stuff that's going on. And the big thing with this movie, and I think with Edgar Wright's best things, is his ability to use music in this movie. Now, obviously, you have Baby has to have this music going on at most times, so it integrates the music into the movie, and then not only is that, but everything in this world has a rhythm to it.
Yeah.
Gunfights have a percussive beat to them.
Yeah.
Windshield wipers have a rhythmic beat to them. Everything, so it kind of gives you this just enveloping sense of music in this movie. The music really defines a lot of the scenes. It defines the characters. It's a great use.
The choreography was really done well right away in the beginning, and he kind of sets this movie up to what it's going to be. This is going to be a musical, and it's going to be high action. But you have Baby, he's walking down the streets, and it's just a non-cut scene.
It's a single shot.
It's a single shot, and they're playing song in the background. And you notice that graffiti that you find on the walls or little things, it's coinciding to the song, which I thought was really cool.
It's
not super in your
details.
Yeah, it wasn't super in your face, but you catch on real quick.
Absolutely.
And the fact that they had to run this to the music so that the camera would pick up the words right at the right times. I thought that was really cool.
I mean, there's so much about Baby that I liked, and I was really surprised because I'm not a big Ansel Elgort guy. But I mean, he's got this really unique style about him, this unique way he deals with his deaf stepfather. I mean, the way he's just making sandwiches and entertaining him. The style of how he makes his own music. He mixtapes his own conversations into music. I mean, all these things are really unique things about this character that aren't huge parts, but all pieced together make this really interesting character.
But he's not like the super cool guy. Like the trailers try to make him seem like he's just good. He's baby. He's really cool. No, he's awkward. He knows he's awkward.
And he rubs people the wrong way. His demeanor rubs people the wrong way. Jamie Foxx does not dig on him.
I love that scene where he's making his music. One of his quirks is he records things, not so he could have recorded information that might help his situation, but so he could have just a little sound bite, so he can make this little quirky music. Yeah. And when you first see it, you're like, oh, that's really cool. But when bad guys find it and they make them play it, then you're like, oh, that does sound a little weird.
There's a lot I love about this movie. I love the kind of whirlwind infatuation that Baby has with Lily James's character of Deborah.
Yeah.
It evoked one of my favorite movies, True Romance, a little bit in their relationship and how she just wanted to get out of this town, and Baby was a little mysterious and kind of offered her that chance to just the road and some music and get out of this nowhere town.
And they had good chemistry.
They had really great chemistry, and it was a beautiful romance that kind of felt like 50s style romances. I fell in love with the girl at the diner. I'm going to sweep her out of here if I can just get out from under this. Kevin Spacey I think Kevin Spacey has perfected the menacing, terrifying guy who doesn't raise his voice, very flat and even, but you are terrified of him. He doesn't have to be physically imposing, but he means business, and you know it. And that's kind of Kevin Spacey's A-plus material right there with that.
I did have a little problem with his character at the end of the movie. I thought that it made a little turn that I really wasn't enjoying that much. But anything else and everything else, Kevin Spacey knocked it out of the park.
And I thought it was his collection of bad guys in this movie. I thought Jamie Foxx was a lot of fun. John Hamm was awesome. And even Baby he wants to be a good guy. He wants to do the right thing, but Baby's not a good guy.
No, he's not.
Baby has made bad decisions a lot of his life and is paying the price for it. And he wants to do the right thing, but every time he's given the chance, he kind of doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's not like he is the white hat guy in this movie. And he has an edge to him as well. He has a darkness to him as well.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy it. I think this is Edgar Wright. I mean, it's been a while since he had a movie come out. Since The World's End. It's been a few years. And I think that he does a great job of when he is given everything, just do your own thing, write it, direct it, use your vision. I think he's phenomenal. I think it's, he was supposed to do that Ant-Man movie. That fell apart because of creative differences.
Yeah, that is the thing.
And it was weird seeing him do a studio movie. And, he wants to do his thing.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall at the Disney studios when the execs are telling the directors, nah, we're not going to do this. Because they lose a lot of directors.
We're going through that with Han Solo right now.
Yeah, we do.
They didn't like what was going on with Lord and Miller, and you're out.
And off the subject still, and I also hear that Han Solo is now receiving acting classes.
He has been receiving acting classes.
That's not a good sign.
Not normal.
No.
Not while you're shooting the movie.
Not while you're shooting the movie.
I really was surprised, really pleasantly surprised by how much I liked this movie.
Yeah.
Kind of went in not knowing a whole lot. I thought the trailers were okay. I went in basically off the cast and Edgar Wright because he's built up a lot of. Scott Pilgrim is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
And that feels a lot like this, using music, taking a lead actor in Michael Cera that I'm not a huge fan of and suddenly making me really enjoy him and bringing in a huge cast of interesting characters around him.
Jamie Foxx was scary.
He was.
Yeah.
And it was good to finally see Jamie Foxx do something where it felt like he was putting a little effort for it.
Yeah. He was terrifying in kind of a cool way. But these characters were awesome.
This is already my favorite soundtrack of the year. I went out and bought it the other day.
Really?
Yeah. It's great.
Nice.
Great soundtrack. And I love how it's integrated into this movie so effortlessly.
I'm still kind of Guardians of the Galaxy type guy. Yeah.
This is it for me.
Soundtrack.
I actually am looking forward to seeing this movie again.
And you have to stay through the trailers, I hear. which
No,
I
you don't.
did
I
not.
was just messing with
Oh,
you.
man!
I was totally messing with you. I told you there was a tie into Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Oh, total lie. Total lie. I was going to tell you that there was
I'm glad you wait until we're
so we're on the
recording.
show. I was going
Yeah.
to tell you Samuel L. Jackson showed up after the credits, but
Yeah, with sharks
Yeah.
or snakes. That would have been awesome.
no, there's nothing after the credits. What did you end up giving Baby Driver?
I gave it a 4. I thought it was better than a good movie. It was really good. I was surprised. There was a couple of issues that I had. Nothing really major to mention. It was a good movie.
So this is my favorite movie of the year so far. This is a 5-star for me. I love this movie so much. I was shocked when I walked out that this was, I think it's the only 5-star I've given this year.
That's very possible.
I think so, because the only other movie that I had above it, or the previous number 1 was The Hero, and that I don't believe I gave 5. So.
No, you came close with a couple of things. I remember
Yeah,
you
yeah.
were like, "Oh, I'm going to give it a 5," but I
but
couldn't do it.
Polaroid, yeah, Logan and Wonder Woman and such. But yeah, this is. I think this is my favorite movie so far this year, and I really enjoyed it. I can't believe how much I enjoyed watching Ansel Elgort, former teen heartthrob, and really enjoyed what was going on.
And I liked how they added a little of the parkour later. That was really kind of surprising when you're like, oh, not only can he drive, but he could just jump and fly and get out of anything.
That choreography with the vehicles and the music. I mean, it's so well done. I can't wait to see what Edgar Wright is doing next.
I love how that scene when that guy's like, go like that, and maybe just slams it in reverse and it was beautiful.
It was.
Using the backup camera. That was awesome.
I mean, and you get to see a lot of different vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
He's going through them left and right.
Yeah.
It's
When you
pretty
drive
great.
like that, don't expect to keep something very long.
And there's a fair bit of humor in this as well. You
Yeah.
know, fair enough. I like it quite a bit. So we both say, go see.
Definitely check
Baby
it out.
Driver.
If you had the choice of redoing this week, but you can only see one movie,
Which would it be, Transformers or Baby Driver? It's odd to have such. I mean, to give something a 5.5 star, like that's.
I would say that's.
I think both of these are going to make an end of the year list, possibly.
Yeah, this would be the most separated day for you,
Yeah.
because I don't think you've ever had a 5 and a 0.5.
Yeah, we're on.
Both of them are very
We
rare
are hitting
for you.
ends of the spectrum today for
Yeah.
sure. So let's take a moment to look back for our movie throwback. And as always,
I had fun with this one.
yeah, I turn to Mike most weeks to say, what do you got for a movie throwback? He's always creative with this, and the line between what we saw and what our throwback is sometimes you got to follow the yarn. You can't let go. This week, what is our throwback, and why are we talking about it?
We got Herbie Wright's. Well, we have Herbie. Now, you took the first movie.
The Love Bug.
And I took the second movie, Herbie Rides Again.
Why are we talking about Herbie?
Well, we have a living car,
Uh-huh.
and we have racing.
Okay.
And, well, that's what Transformers and Baby Driver is.
Absolutely.
Except for the big difference between this living car is I like this one.
Right.
If you don't know about Herbie, he was huge during the late 60s, early 70s, on through the 80s. I believe they did a remake a little while ago, but no one went to see it.
About 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, something
Herbie
like
Rides
that.
Again?
Herbie is a huge cultural icon. A lot of people haven't heard about him because he hasn't been making popular movies, but we have a lady who has a bunch of magical things, and it seems like one of them is Herbie has a mind of his own and a little sensitive at times, and Herbie could get anywhere. He could beat people on races, he could climb on the cables of the Golden Gate Bridge, he could go vertical up walls.
Yeah.
He'll chase you all over the place.
He's got a mind of his own.
You don't expect that from a little VW Bug made from the 1940s, but he's got a lot of personality and there's a lot of humor in it. It's been a while since I've seen these movies, so when I saw Rides Again, I was like, oh, this is probably not going to be good, but I really enjoyed myself. It's cute, it's funny. You have Helen Hayes as Miss Schmitz. You have Ken Berry, who I really don't see. Is he still
Ken
around?
Berry? I don't know.
Or, yeah.
I don't know.
He was on Carol Burnett's show
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mama's Family.
Let's say he's dead. R.I.P. Ken Berry.
Well, he was Willoughby. But in Rides Again, I really enjoyed it. But I'm more interested, actually, in hearing what
So I watched The Love
first
Bug.
one.
The first one came out in 1968. This movie's almost 50 years old.
Yeah.
And the effects are great for a 50-year-old movie. I was really shocked putting new eyes on this movie. I remember watching these movies when I was a kid.
Exactly.
I
Same
remember
here.
watching like the third one in a drive-thru when I was a little kid, before Superman.
Monte Carlo?
Yes, I think it was Monte Carlo.
Okay.
Watching that before a Superman movie in a drive-in,
Yeah.
a little twofer. Directed by Robert Stevenson, this was Disney franchise, and they kind of kept their people around. So, like, he directed Mary Poppins. He did Herbie Rides Again. He did Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Mm-hmm.
He did, kind of a lot of people. And this one also features Buddy Hackett, a very young, very drunk Buddy Hackett.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was looking at the TV hoping that they would have the trailer.
A guy goes, he looks at a car, realizes he has a crush on a girl who works at the car lot, decides he can't afford a car, goes home. The car follows him home. The police think he stole the car. He thinks that the car lot owner is trying to set him up. He discovers that the car has a weird personality, falls in love with the girl, and then they start to race. He decides he's going to take this car in a race, and David Tomlinson, who is the car lot owner, says, "You will not beat me. I am a race car driver." David Tomlinson, who also was the dad in Mary Poppins and in Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
Nice.
Very prim and proper British man, got a great mustache. And they go in a car race. And it looks great. I mean, it obviously is a sped up footage to make the car look very fast.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty obvious, but it was a lot of fun.
In my movie, they didn't go into a car race. They were followed by lawyers. They wanted to smash down this old lady's house so they can build this huge building that looks kind of like a Trump Tower type thing.
Yeah.
And just watching Herbie drive on the top chords of the Golden
remember
Gate
that.
Bridge while these lawyers are running up. It's just fun.
I remember that.
It's still entirely more believable than anything that I saw in
Absolutely.
Transformers.
There's 5 Herbie movies. I kind of want to get the kids, like, during the summer we have family movie night. Saturday night's family movie night. I kind of want to just watch Herbie movies over the next few weeks.
I happen to have a 4-pack of the first 4 Herbie movies.
Look
if you
out.
would like to
I think
borrow
we got
them.
ourselves a deal, kids. Watch some Herbie movies. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, they
I
are.
was really blown away. That's awesome. Nice choice. Let's see. Let's take a look ahead now. What is going to be coming soon the week of July 7th? We have 2 movies on the marquee. One of them is going to be a massive movie. Spider-Man Homecoming. Spider-Man has returned to the Marvel Universe where he belongs. Spider-Man and Iron Man are figuring things out.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's very young. He's going to shoot webs and save women.
yeah. Vulture Man is going to be in there.
That's what he does.
Who's
Yeah,
also
Michael
Batman.
Keaton. Michael Keaton is in it. I like that
And
a lot.
Birdman.
Birdman. Yeah, he's a lot
He's
of
got.
things.
He's a lot of men.
A lot of things that have wings too.
Yeah.
A vulture, a bat, and a bird.
That is awesome.
I think we just put that together. Nobody else has known that. All right. The next movie that we have on the marquee that week will be called A Ghost Story. Do you like ghost stories, Mike?
That looks. Yes.
Girl's dead. She's got a sheet over her head.
It's A24.
It is.
It's going to be good.
Looking forward to that as well. Those will be what we were talking about from the weekend of July 7th. Before we leave you, though, we have to thank our sponsor, Marcus Theaters. You guys are awesome. We love watching these movies in your beautiful Dream Loungers. I'm looking forward to going to rewatch Baby Driver in a Dream Lounger tonight.
I'm going to see Despicable Me. My daughter's going to take me out for the bistro. So it's all her treat. I am going to have probably the double smash burger.
Get fried pickles. They are delicious.
I will get the fried pickles tonight.
Fried pickles are awesome. Get those. So thank you again, Marcus Theaters, for sponsoring us. If you want to see more from us or want to keep in touch with us, you can do so by finding us. You can find us on Facebook, Real Reviews TV. You can find us on Twitter at Real Reviews TV. You can find 167 past episodes. If you go on to ksun.tv, you can watch all kinds of amazing episodes.
That is great for people who just can't move. They're
Shut-ins.
stuck in
Look,
bed.
you got a holiday weekend? You got a long weekend coming up?
Exactly.
Watch 167 episodes of these guys.
Exactly.
You're not going to regret it. You can also find us in beautiful HD if you go onto your YouTubes and search Real Reviews KSUN.
Because you want to see all this in high definition.
High definition for sure. Next week, we are going to have Despicable Me 3 and the Amy Poehler Will Ferrell joint called The House.
I'm looking forward to that.
Among other things. Yeah, absolutely. So, but until that time, my name is Jameson.
I'm Mike Roth.
Thanks for watching.